Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial on Linux command. In today's video, we will explore how to check and manage your system hostname, a crucial part of any network machine. Whether you are a system administrator or a developer, this command is something you will likely use often to identify and configure your system. Let's get started. Before we jump into command itself, let's quickly understand what is hostname. Hostname is in simple term, hostname is a unique name assigned to your Linux system used to identify it on a network. It could be a simple name like my server, or it could be more descriptive like web-server-01 for specific function in your infrastructure. Let's begin by running the basic hostname command without any option. Before that, let's see the manual page for hostname. So hostname shows or set the system hostname. Let's run the hostname command on your Linux system. It will show the hostname. When you run this on your Linux system, in my case it is a Rocky Linux system or any other Linux distribution, you will get a current system hostname like VMbox. In my case, it is VMbox. I'm running a Rocky Linux virtual machine in my VirtualBox software on a Windows machine. So let's see how we can change hostname temporarily. If you want to change the hostname temporarily without rebooting, you can use the same command with the hostname argument followed by a new name. For example, I will use hostname new server -name. So to run hostname, you need a root access or a sudo access. I will run this command with sudo. So check hostname. You see, earlier it was VMbox. Now it is new server name. If you run the hostname command again, you will see this updated hostname, which is new server name. Keep in mind, the change will only last until your system reboot. In real life use case, imagine you need to quickly rename a server before a maintenance window, or while performing some testing. This command allows you to do that without interrupting the system running service. So let's see how to change a hostname permanently. To make the change permanently, we need to update system hostname file. Let's edit /etc. So we need to run this command with sudo hostname. Run this command to open it with a text editor. I'm using Vim. So in this case, my hostname is my-hostname4. In this file, simply replace the current hostname with your new hostname. For example, replace this hostname with a new hostname. New hostname. Save the file, save and exit the editor. Now you can apply these changes. You can do this by restarting the systemd-hostname service with the following command. You need to run this command with sudo systemctl restart systemd-hostname. Now check hostname. Once done, check the hostname again with the hostname command to confirm the permanent change as applied. Earlier it was VMbox. We have temporarily changed with hostname. This is the temporarily changed command, hostname followed by the argument. We have updated to new-server-name. Now we permanently updated to a new-hostname. So next we should also update the host file to ensure the hostname resolves correctly on your local machine, especially when accessing it via localhost. Run with sudo command sudo etc host. So here look for the lines that mention 127.0.0.1 and colon colon 1. These lines should contain localhost and your system host name. For example, if your new host name is new hyphen host name, so your etc host file should look like this. Let me update it. New host name. Let's save this file. Save and close after making the changes. To verify the host name is updated, run the following command to check the system's current host name and ensure it's reflected correctly in both /etc/hostname and /etc/host. You can check with hostnamectl. Enter this command. Hostnamectl command provides an additional details about the current hostname configuration and includes a static hostname. So advanced configuration is another way to change the hostname is by using the hostnamectl command, which allows you to manage the hostname more effectively. For example, to set the hostname permanently, you can use a command. If you don't want to update in /etc/host file, you can run a command. This command will update the hostname permanently. Hostname new. This is the command sudo hostnamectl set hostname is the command, and this is the name what I want to provide it for my machine. So once we enter, this method automatically updates details in /etc/hostname file, and you don't need to restart the systemd hostname service manually. This will automatically set it. Now let's move on to some useful options you can use with hostname command. So the option is hostname. If I use hostname hyphen capital I option, this option displays the IP address of the system. This is particularly useful when you are managing multiple server or need to quickly check the network configuration. And the next option is hostname hyphen F. This hyphen F option shows the fully qualified domain name, which is FQDN. In my case, it is just a local host, so no FQDN is currently configured on my machine. To wrap up, the hostname command is simple but extremely powerful for managing and identifying your Linux system, especially in environments like Rocky Linux or any Linux distribution. Whether you are temporarily changing the hostname or setting up a system for production, understand how to configure and check your hostname is essential. Basic practice suggests using a descriptive hostname for each system, especially when you're running multiple machines in a network. For example, you have a database server, web server, or backup server. The best practice is to provide a descriptive hostname such as for database server, db-server-01, for web server, web-server-01, and the backup server, provide the hostname like backup-server-01. Could help differentiate the role and the functionality of each server. That's all for today. The hostname is critical part of your Linux system, and knowing how to manage it is essential. We have covered how to change it temporarily and permanently, how to configure it in a etc/hostname file, and why it is useful to update the /etc/host file for local resolution. By following these steps, you can ensure your system has a correct hostname, whether you are managing a single machine or group of servers. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, subscribe for more Linux tutorials. Thanks for watching.